6.5%, with Q1 at 7.8%, Q2 at 6.2%, Q3 at 6.1%, and Q4 at 5.9%. Risks are evenly balanced. Let me now turn to inflation. The softening in inflation during November-December 2022 turned out transitory, with CPI headline inflation breaching the upper tolerance threshold during January-February 23. A sharp turnaround in food inflation drove the pickup in headline inflation as core inflation remained elevated across a range of goods and services. Looking ahead, the expectation of a record Rabi harvest bodes well for easing of food price pressures. There are already evidence of a correction in wheat prices in March on supply-side interventions by the government. The impact of the recent unseasonal rains in some parts of the country, however, needs to be watched. Global commodity prices have moderated significantly from their heightened levels a year ago. As our surveys point out, cost conditions have somewhat eased. Inflation expectations of households have also eased down. On the upside, adverse climatic conditions are a risk to the future inflation trajectory. Milk prices are also likely to remain firm going into the summer season due to tight demand-supply balance and fodder cost pressures. The rising uncertainty in international financial markets and imported inflation pressures need to be monitored. Factors, and assuming an annual average crude price Indian basket of 85 and a normal monsoon, inflation is projected to moderate to 5.2% for 23-24, with Q1 at 5.1%, Q2 at 5.4%, Q3 5.4%, and Q4 at 5.2%. The risks are evenly balanced. Now, let me summarize what I have said so far. We are living in very volatile times. The sudden announcement of an output cut by the OPEC Plus a few days ago and the resultant jump in crude oil prices is yet another evidence of this volatility. The overall outlook thus remains dynamic and fast evolving. Our monetary policy in the recent period has aimed for a non-disruptive normalization from the pandemic-era stimulus measures. Even as monetary policy moved decisively to withdrawal of accommodation, financial conditions evolved in line with the productive requirements of the economy. Growth has since then become broad-based. Inflation has softened from its elevated levels a year ago. However, it still remains above the upper tolerance band. Projections